Happy Beefsgiving, everybody!
Get that Beefsgiving.
Yes, always giving beefs. All day, every day, whether it's Beefsgiving or not. Gotta give that beef, baby. Gotta give that beef.
The only question is, are you willing to take the beef? Can you handle the beef?
Oh, of course. I can handle anything you can give me. I think you know that. I think you know that from experience.
Well, I hope we've gotten all the extra experience we're going to get tonight by this point. We're about an hour behind schedule, folks.
Wouldn't be a beef stick special without technical difficulties, but thank heavens they happened before we started recording, and hopefully they don't happen during the recording, because
yes.
Hopefully we got it all taken care of ahead of time, and it's going to be smooth sailing, because we got a lot to talk about, and it's a lot of good shit, and I think we should just get right on into it. What do you think?
Well, let's do it. Dive in. I mean, that's what you do on a day such as this.
Yeah, you just go in. You don't have to fucking use a napkin or nothing. Just do it.
Who needs a napkin when you got a fucking beard? Just soak that shit up for later.
Damn right. But then the dog, man, licks it and bites it.
Humps your
My
face.
sister's new dog, she gets really happy and she starts licking me, and then my beard gets in her mouth, and so she bites it, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. All right, first of all, don't forget Monster Wear Clothing, always a good friend of the podcast, takes care of us. We like to take care of him. Corey Matthews, he's got your t-shirts, your decals. If you got a hockey mask, if you want to make a bumper sticker, anything you want to make, he can whip it up. You want to make a exact replica of the Leaning Tower of Pizza with the thinker on top thinking, and the White House monument leaning beside it, that motherfucker's gonna whip it up. He's got 3D printers and shit. I'm making all that up. That's a lie. But he will hook you up with your t-shirt needs, your decals, your bumper stickers, anything that you can slap on a surface, he will slap it like you slap your mama when you fuck her at night, you sick, depraved bastard. It's Thanksgiving, and you shouldn't be fucking your mama. Hit up our friend Corey Matthews. Find him on Facebook. That is Monster Wear Clothing. Check it out. Paystee, what kind of beer do you got today?
Man, I'm just sitting here with my BFF. And for all of you that can't see me, that is my big foam fist. And currently tonight, it is full of Surly Brewing Company's Extra Citra Pale Ale. Because let's face it, it's been cold as fuck lately, and I need a little taste of summer.
Summertime.
We've been featuring Surly on the show every once in a while, and it's always good to bring it back. One of my favorite brewing companies in Minnesota, by far.
They're fucking amazing.
Award winners, and they're geniuses. The things they do are so simple, but they're so far from subtle. It's every different kind is an experience, and I'm also hoping we get to experience a very special Surly with you guys one of these weeks.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to take an investment, but it should be good. I actually am just drinking on a regular old Bud Light, but it is the official beer of Super Bowl 52 from Minneapolis, Minnesota, baby! So, you know, for Thanksgiving, football, all that jazz, you have to... I'm representing football. This is not my favorite beer. We usually like to do craft beers, but even of non-craft beers, this is definitely not my top choice.
No.
But it's good. It's good. It's good, and I drink it.
Dog before Bud, man. That's just me personally.
So we got the important stuff out of the way. So moving on to our two tweets.
Boom, right there for you guys.
Boom goes the dynamite. And we don't have a lot of tweets, and that's okay, man. That's okay. The Tweety world was not popping, but it was fresh. It was fresh. First of all, don't know if anybody's seen Survivor Series. I would assume most folks listening to this have seen Survivor Series. If you did see it, you know that AJ Styles did not quite beat the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And AJ Styles took to Twitter to comment on that.
Yes, he
And the
did.
Phenomenal One said, "Tonight didn't go my way, but since I came to WWE, I've wanted to prove I'm the best and that I can hang with anyone. So if you ever want to go again, Brock, let's do it." So it's a nice little, a nice little. I like when they're, every now and then we get the superstars that are willing to put out a tweet where they're not like shitting on the other one, like, oh, you didn't deserve the win or this or that or that or this. I like to share those with you guys because there's so many negative tweets out there that I love it when we get these kind of positive.
Twitter wars, man. It's the rap beef of 2017. That's what it boils down to. And they say just about as much. Nothing.
That's true. Oh, so speaking of petty Twitter folks, we got one here from Vince Russo. And it says, "Guess the announcers aren't that excited about Jordan Strowman. Total no sell. Hey, Corey, Pee Wee Herman called. He wants his suit back with the hashtag tool." So Corey Graves, he doesn't keep his mouth shut that often. He replied with, "Wow, it's amazing that the driving force behind the Attitude Era relies on the same insults as my 9-year-old. Just shout me out for giving your podcast some traffic. You're a great Christian."
I don't know what Corey Graves was talking about. I thought that was a good burn. And if his 9-year-old son is burning him, there's obviously something wrong with Corey himself.
And you know what? That's for a 9-year-old to even know who Pee Wee Herman is. That's pretty impressive. I give him credit.
He is all over Netflix. My kids watch Pee Wee Herman on a pretty regular basis, which is equally as enlightening as it is disturbing.
Ironically, I was just around a how old is she? 5-year-old today, and she was like, Pee Wee Herman, and I was like, what's wrong with Pee Wee Herman, huh?
And then
so
did she
I'm glad
turn around
you
and
kids
tell
dig
you
him because it's not really a
masturbating in a movie theater?
It's like, no, he was caught masturbating in an adult porn theater. What the fuck else are you going to an adult? Who watches porn for any other reason than to masturbate?
Dude,
that's why those
places
places exist.
Ass beads only. Butt stuff. Leave your dangler alone.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do? So most of these tweets here, actually everything except for we have a Jerry of the week that's involved in the 2 tweet.
Yes.
But they're all Survivor Series related. And this one here comes from a Brian Maxwell Mann. And he says, he has a series of tweets here. And I can't say I disagree with him. I just wanted to, I felt a kindred spirit with him as I was reading this. So I wanted to get them out here. He said, and not everybody agrees with me, and that's okay. Or this guy. He said, all the great fresh talent. He's talking about the main event of Survivor Series, the men's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination, Raw versus SmackDown. He says, all the great fresh talent in this match, and it's going to end up Triple H and Angle versus Shane and Randy. He called that before the match. Then he later on put, I hate this in all caps. And he said, now Hunter's going to pretend to put over a new guy like he didn't just win a pay-per-view main event on 6 days build. He's talking about Strowman, putting over Strowman, and how Triple H did just win a pay-per-view main event with less than a week build of him being on it. Follows that with, you've also got to know that wasn't the intended finish like 5 days ago. What were they building to for weeks that was dropped abruptly? This might be the worst Hunter booking I've ever seen. A month of angles that involved the entire roster was pushed aside for an ego stroke. Harsh words from this man. Harsh words,
but you said quite a few of these words to me the night of the pay-per-view. I definitely see where you're coming from there.
That's what I said. And not everybody agrees with me. In fact, a lot of people disagree with me, but that's how I feel. And I felt
it put over old guys, and they probably shouldn't have done that, but for what it was, I enjoyed it.
And we got two more. This one is also Survivor Series related. It was Tamina Snuka. After her Survivor Series match, she took to Twitter and she posts 4 pictures. One is Hogan Andre standing toe-to-toe from WrestleMania 3. The other is Rock Stone Cold standing toe-to-toe from WrestleMania 1998. The other is Undertaker and Shawn Michaels standing toe-to-toe for Shawn Michaels' retirement match. And the fourth one is Tamina Snuka standing toe-to-toe with Nia Jax.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Tell me which thing is not like the other. And it's not because they don't have a dong.
That was good. That was good improvising. She writes, you see, Nia Jax, certain moments in wrestling history are so iconic that a photo sometimes does them an injustice in capturing the energy surrounding them. But these photos certainly prove otherwise. So she's basically putting a 3-minute tussle that they had, which ended up in a count-out in the middle of a Survivor Series mid pay-per-view match, in the same limelight as Andre Hogan, Rock Stone Cold, or Taker Michaels. Wow. Some talk about ego.
Right.
And I don't think... Yeah.
Hopefully she was being fun with it. I do want to touch on the fact that Shawn Michaels just announced that he is going to be in the Marines 6.
Yeah, we're... Actually, you know what? Did I forget to put that in the news? That's the one thing I think I forgot. So we'll talk about that when we get to the news. So we got one more. Do you want to do the Jerry of the Week, Paystee?
You didn't send that one in the file, so you go ahead and take it.
It's on the OneNote. That's why it's under Jerry of the Week on the OneNote.
Well,
but I can do it.
You go ahead, sir.
Kevin Kelly. Folks should know Kevin Kelly's been in the wrestling business forever. He was the ring announcer for Ring of Honor for a decade or so. I mean, he was the voice of Ring of Honor. Kevin Kelly used to work for WWE. I believe he worked for ECW for a while. He's been around the wrestling business for forever. And, you always get this, you always get these shit. You always hear bad things about airlines. Always bad things about airlines. But Kevin Kelly went out of his way to let them know when they do something right. And he put a tweet out. He says, unequal in customer service, Delta goes even further this morning for me here at DTW, earning loyalty and continuing to be an industry leader. Thank you. So you may ask, well, what the hell? That's Jerry of the Week? No, Kevin Kelly. I give him props for. Most people only take to Twitter to complain. He's actually really selling these guys as a good airlines that took care of him, and he was very happy with. Jerry of the Week goes to Delta Airlines, and you may wonder why. He just said how great they were. Well, after he put this tweet out praising how well they were, they replied to him. And Delta's reply said, wow, that's not good to hear at all, Kelly. We apologize for the poor impression you've received. I will be sure to share your concern with leadership. Please let us know if there is any way we could assist. Cody Rhodes responded, I think he was putting you over. And Kevin Kelly responded with that, I was definitely putting them over. So it feels like that one girl who just can't take a compliment or something like that. I don't know what happened here.
All they read was the word unequal, and they're like, shit, we fucked up.
I guess. I mean, it was like nothing but positive ravings about this company, and they have to respond talking about how they're so sorry. So I'm thinking they go out of their way to make people feel like shit. And they're like, oh, man. Somebody got a hold of the manager. They're like, hey, there's this guy, Kevin Kelly. He really enjoyed the flight. Son of a bitch. Didn't you guys put a baby on? Yeah, we put a baby. It was crying. Fuck. I thought we put the seats closer. Yeah, we put the seats closer together. I don't know. God damn it. People enjoying their flights and shit.
We need more turbulence.
I just so Jerry of the week goes to Delta Airlines for not being able to take a compliment.
Right, just getting the totally wrong thing from a statement.
Airlines get so much shit talk. Accept it when you have a good time.
I had a good chuckle over that earlier today when I was perusing the OneNote from the safety of the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah,
I did that for
I
once.
love it.
I never look at it beforehand, and this week I'm like, I should do that.
Right? I was surprised when you said you had looked at it earlier. I was like, oh wow. Oh. Well, on to our news and our notes and our rumors.
And our tumors.
I guess you want to lead off then with the movie because I did forget to write it down.
I don't remember who he's in the movie with. There's a handful of them.
Shawn Michaels and I'm spacing off the female. It's The Miz. Because that's why, spoiler for everybody, that's why he lost the IC title. Because he's going off to shoot this movie. It's Miz. Who's the female? Miz, Randy Orton, and one of the female wrestlers. Why am I'm drawing a blank on who it is?
Oh,
it's not Maurice, obviously. But it's Miz, and look it up for me while we talk about it. They're going to be in the Marine 6. Nobody has seen 3 through 5,
Becky
so
Lynch.
I can't believe there's a fucking 6.
It's Bex.
But you know what they say? If nobody watches a movie, can it really be bad? Apparently not, because they're still making them. I never seen the first fucking any of them.
I watched the first one with John Cena. Was very disappointed. It was a lot of shitty explosions for no reason. And
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe The Miz has brought it back because he's been in the role for the longest out of anybody.
Yeah, this has got to be his 3rd one, I think. Maybe 4th, but 3rd at least. Did you ever find who the chick is?
Yeah, it's Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky, baby. But Becky isn't going to have to be gone long because she's not starring in it. She probably just pops up for like one scene, so we probably won't even notice she's gone. Not that she's been doing much anyways. And Shawn Michaels, nobody's going to notice he is gone. Yeah. Got quiet there for a second. Paystee. Did I lose Paystee? I lost Paystee. Paystee. Boy, talk about technical difficulty, folks. It's not good. I'm gonna check on him. But as I check on him, I will It's January, and it would air live on Facebook after WWE SmackDown each Tuesday night. Now, this would likely mean 205 Live would not air live anymore, and the new series, it sounds like, would feature Raw and SmackDown stars fighting for brand supremacy. So much for the fucking brand split, am I right, Paystee?
Yes, you are, sir.
Am I right?
You are right, my friend.
Am I right, Paystee?
They can hear me. You can't hear me. Give me one moment. You can't hear me.
Not right. On to other news. Hip hop country. Former WWE and TNA Women's Champion Paystee.
I'm here. I've been back.
I know it.
I've been back. They could hear me for a moment before you could. Something happened with my microphone, and it said that it just dropped off, and there was no microphone detected.
Fucking dude, it's a hell of a Beefsgiving, man.
It's a fucking struggle, son.
It reminds me of the Beefsgiving where the kids' table, it was a Beefsgiving a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago. The kids' table ended up crashing down, and all the food went everywhere. And also that day, we had all of the kids brought home in a police cruiser when we couldn't find them for a while. So that was a hell of a Beefsgiving. But this Beefsgiving is keeping up with the tradition. So we just talked about the Facebook show, the Facebook Live show. What do you got to say about that, man?
I didn't see it.
What hasn't aired is they're talking about it.
Well,
did you hear what I said about it?
I was
It's basically
getting things.
It sounds like it's going to be Raw and SmackDown stars fighting for brand supremacy. Which we just had. You know, they say, you know, Survivor Series, the one night a year you see Raw versus SmackDown. We've seen it all year long.
Yeah, but
long.
I think they're going to start doing it with all the big five, probably. I mean, if
haven't they already though?
If they do that with the big five, because now there's 5, right?
We're going to get to that, but yes, there is, which I think is also ridiculous, but yeah.
Well, let's just get to that, because that blends with this so much, and because with now there's 5 of them a year, and SmackDown gets
but if you're doing
less.
it every week, what's the point then?
You should keep the heat between the shows. That's what's going to drive up ratings. It's like Raw and WCW. They didn't just once every 4 months go, hey, we got a problem with each other. No, it was like an
but they also didn't wrestle each other ever. This is having Raw versus SmackDown stars every week.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
That would be kind of dumb. I don't know what I think about that.
I mean, and it may not be that, but that's what it's saying. It says the new series would feature Raw and SmackDown stars fighting for brand supremacy. So I don't know.
On the network, if you're gonna do anything with it, give us the content that we fucking pay for.
Why do it? I guess is my question. Does anybody want to see it? The answer is no.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I mean, it would give us
if
a
you're gonna
change
do
of
that,
pace
just get
from
rid
the
of the
same
brand
mundane storylines and matchups.
Yeah.
Because you'd see something different every time. But I don't know. I think there's good things and bad things about it, and I just think it's the way the company's going. You were complaining about the brand split meaning nothing when Survivor Series is being talked about. And now WWE had released that statement saying that going forward, Money in the Bank will be a brand split show. And with that, I don't know. I think Vince wants to keep them fighting because it's probably been a little good for ratings, you know?
It would be. So let's get to that. It says that the current plan for WWE is to have 14 pay-per-views in 2018. The good news about this, we had 16 last year, so at least they're knocking us down 2. My son and I went through and we're losing Great Balls of Fire and I think No Way Out.
They should keep Great Balls
of Fire. Great Balls of Fire might have been the best pay-per-view this last year. It was definitely in the top.
Yeah.
And I would put Survivor Series as maybe the bottom 3, but that's me personally. We'll get to that. The schedule calls for there to be 5 Raw shows, 4 SmackDown shows, and 5 combined shows. So again, to me, having 5 Raw, 5 SmackDown, and then 4 combined makes sense. Your year is broken up into quarters, so you could have 1 combined one each quarter.
Yeah.
And then you have 5 Raw, 5 SmackDown. I mean, again, they're just like laying it out that SmackDown's the B show. They have less pay-per-views right there. That's saying they're the B show. It goes on to say the new co-branded event is Money in the Bank, as Paystee Whyt said, which is going to be in Chicago, Illinois, June 17th. And I will quickly run down what we're going to get for pay-per-views. So we still have the Clash of Champions coming up this year yet. That's the last one this year. So starting in 2018, we'll have the Royal Rumble in January. Elimination Chamber is Raw, and that's February. Fastlane is SmackDown in March. WrestleMania in April, which of course is both of them. Backlash, which is a Raw event in the beginning of May. And then Payback, which is a SmackDown event at the end of May. June, we'll see Money in the Bank, a co-branded show, Raw and SmackDown. Battleground for the Raw brand will be July. SummerSlam, which is a co-branded show. So you only get 1 Raw pay-per-view in between 2 co-branded shows. I also find that interesting.
Well,
SummerSlam's in August.
Maybe like rivalries will start at Money in the Bank, and then they'll, because it's brand split, so those people won't be able to fight each other again until the next show.
So SmackDown would go from the end of May, until the end of September between pay-per-views. So they'd have a 4-month gap in between pay-per-views. I will continue. So Battleground is in July. SummerSlam is August. Extreme Rules is Raw. That's the mid-September. Hell in a Cell is the end of September, and that's a SmackDown only. TLC is a Raw only, and that's in October. Survivor Series, which is co-brand, is November, and Clash of Champions, SmackDown only in December.
I can't believe Hell in a Cell's not going to be in October.
I can't believe my son pointed out they don't have a pay-per-view in Minnesota this year.
Yeah,
usually
that was the first thing I looked at.
One of their fall pay-per-views is almost always in Minnesota, and they do not have one this year. I'm okay with. I like the fact that they brought it down to 14. I'm okay with them bringing it down to 12, but 14 is at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with Money in the Bank being co-brand, because then you can have a Raw and a SmackDown.
I don't think so. I think it should be 3 guys from each show and only 1 Money in the Bank. I don't think, because if they do it, then there's going to be 4 Money in the Bank matches in one night, and that's too much.
Well, I was wondering, when I seen that it was going to be a co-one, the first thing I thought of is they decided the female Money in the Bank thing isn't working. Because they obviously still, even if she cashes it in, they haven't really done much with the storyline. And that maybe they drop the female Money in the Bank. I don't know. I would hope they don't, but I could see it happening.
I could see that.
I like 3 and 3 though, and I like that you could cash it in on any title. You know what I mean, Raw or SmackDown.
And I do. I think the co-branded shows should be geared towards rivalry between the brands. If that's the way you're gonna go, you got to do it.
So that's kind of it's interesting. It looks like it could be positive changes. We'll see how it goes going forward. Paging NXT women. Yes, folks. 5. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. NXT wrestlers have been brought up to the main roster this week. On Raw, Paige made her return, and she introduced 2 new wrestlers, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville is a former MMA fighter who was in 2015's Tough Enough. She also wrestled on NXT under her birth name, Daria Baronato. Mandy Rose was the runner-up in the same Tough Enough season, though I haven't personally seen her wrestle in NXT at all. I have heard that she is a favorite for the live crowd, and I read somewhere that she's made 2 television appearances, though they were far between a while ago.
Yeah.
So then the following night on SmackDown, another trio of women debuted. They were also from NXT. We got Ruby Riott. She's the former Heidi Lovelace and is a talented veteran who has wrestled in independents from Shimmer to Shakara and most everything in between.
Shimmer to
We also
Shakara.
seen Liv.
I like it.
We also seen Liv Morgan, who is a former cheerleader and Hooters girl, always goes far in the wrestling community, who has never stepped into a non-WWE ring in her life. Then there's Sarah Logan, who is better known as Crazy Mary Dobson and is the 7-year hardcore wrestler who really has been everywhere. She's been in Shimmer, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, D1W, WCCW, APWA, UWF, ICW, WXW, and Juggalo Championship Wrestling, where she is a former tag team champion with the hardcore legend Madman Pondo.
Wow.
I think we got a little bit to talk about.
She's going to get underutilized in WWE.
Yeah, I think so. Especially, and I hate to say this, but especially because she's not, she doesn't have that diva look.
Yeah.
And she isn't Heidi Lovelace looking or a Ruby Riott looking. Ruby Riott's got a busted up face. And she's an awesome talent, and I love it. But I call people out, man. When they got a busted up face, they got a busted up face.
Ruby
So
Riott
what's
is
your
a
take on
toucan.
this?
She is the human evolution of the toucan family. That's what I get. Every time I see her, I'm like, holy shit. We didn't just evolve from monkeys, folks.
And it goes like, I don't know how most people noses go. Like mine goes to here, but hers is like a straight line from her nose to to her eyebrows. It's just like, boom. It's but it's okay. So let's talk about their debuts. Let's talk about first impressions, Paystee.
Yeah. Well, the first time on Raw was really cool because Paige is back.
Yes.
And then it happened again the next night. And I was like, huh?
Is this a rerun?
Seriously. A pale chick with black hair, a badass brunette, and the cheerleader blonde.
Check. Yeah, you nailed all three of them.
It was terrible.
And they all three play the exact same role.
Yeah.
So Ruby Riott, who is the pale black-haired chick, and Paige, who is a pale black-haired chick, seem to be the ones calling the shot. They would be the leaders maybe of the group, or the alpha female. Then, like you said, you got the badass, who would be your enforcer, and that would be the brunette of the group. And then you have the eye candy, who's not that great of a wrestler compared to the other two, and that would be your Mandy Rose and your Liv Morgan. So, I mean, they play the exact same roles even.
WWE pulled something out this week, and I think it left the world dumbfounded. Like, huh?
I'm glad they're bringing people up from NXT, and I'm not disappointed that it's not who you thought. I'm okay with them pulling people up we didn't expect.
It's better than being able to call it every single time. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that all of these are the correct choice, but that's to be determined. I mean, you never know that one way or the other. Look at Bayley. Look at Finn Balor. Look at a lot of them. You never know for sure. So I'm gonna go out and say my theory on this. When I seen SmackDown had 3 chicks also coming up, the first thing came into my mind was last year there were rumors that they were going to do a 20-woman Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. There'd be a men's Royal Rumble and a women's Royal Rumble. I honestly believe that they are bringing women up to do a 20-women Royal Rumble. Let's see, I wrote shit down. Do I know what I did with it? I try to save things in my phone. Yeah. So I went and did a little research on my own because I like to waste time. And I found 21 women wrestlers between SmackDown and Raw, and that includes both champions. You would assume that the 2 champions are not going to be in the Royal Rumble, so that gives you 19 women wrestlers on the roster. Now, if we've learned anything from Royal Rumbles in the past, at least the men's Royal Rumbles, there's always 1 or 2 surprise entrances. So by my math, that gives us enough women to have a 20-woman battle royal.
There also has been more rumblings lately about another women's veteran making a return sometime soon.
Oh yeah, I could easily see that. I mean, Lita's still around, and she's she's okay to wrestle.
It's gonna be Jacqueline.
She doesn't have any reason to open her back. You could always see Lita. You could have Jacqueline. I love Jackie. She's a badass Bia, I tell you what. And there's still plenty of women down in NXT that could get called up. Nikki Bella is supposed to return anytime now, so she's going to be coming pretty soon. Brie Bella could come back just for a Royal Rumble appearance.
Yeah.
There's no reason she couldn't come back. She's just out to take care of the kid, So she could easily come back for that. Trish Stratus could show up. Michelle McCool. I mean, Taker's still around. And Taker's going to be at WrestleMania. And if he's gonna be at WrestleMania, you would hope sometime around Royal Rumble or so they're gonna start getting his whoever he's gonna be wrestling, they're gonna be getting that story ready. You would hope. So he might be around during the Rumble. So it could be Michelle McTaker. You never know. I don't know. I'm interested. They got people talking. That's not a bad thing. And I'm always glad to see Paige back. Despite her personal issues, and I hope most of her personal issues are behind her, she's an amazing talent. She's a great wrestler. She's good on the mic. I'm happy to have her back. And I'm happy to see some more depth in the women's division. It was starting to get stale. This can only help, I think.
Hopefully we get some more clarity as to the carbon copy stables.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten a name for them yet, have we?
Nope.
Okay. If they're smart, they use Paige's stable. They somehow influx Rampage in it. Because then they can tie that in to Rock the Dwayne Johnson new movie coming out. Rampage.
Dude, I was so stoked when I saw that. I love the game Rampage. They should have just did that instead of Jumanji.
Well, have you seen the trailer for Rampage?
No, not yet. Just the poster.
He's wearing the exact same fucking outfit from Jumanji. I think he recorded them both at the same time.
Do you think they're just doing a series of movies where he goes into video games and they just happen to make Jumanji into a video game?
Well, you talk about like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So Rock is making Jumanji, which is a movie about going in a video game and they're in the jungle. Then he's doing Rampage, which from the previews and all the posters and everything, it looks like takes place in the jungle, and it's about a video game, and it's called Rampage. And then he's going to be releasing a movie about Paige, the wrestler, and he's a wrestler. It all ties together. It's like the Dwayne trilogy. It's going to go down decades from now. Film students are going to be studying the Dwayne trilogy. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Rampage, and whatever, Wrestling with My Family, or whatever the fuck Paige's movie's called. I can see it now.
This would mark the, I guess if you count Jumanji, this would mark the third Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson video game themed movie. Because way back in the day, he starred in Doom, which was pretty nutso.
Which movie, and everybody hates it.
I like the end when it goes into first-person God mode. That was fun.
Yeah, that part's fun. That's very fun. And if you want to tie in movies, he's also done the whole jungle guy in Journey 2.
Yeah.
He started Journey 2 and he did the jungle thing because he bounces berries off his tits. He's like,
stay tuned for The Rock's next feature film, Pitfall.
Right? He's got to swing over pits, dodge snakes, jump on crocodiles, avoid big easy. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Adam Sandler in Pixels 2. Right. Welcome to the Pitfall. I can see it now, motherfuckers. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Laura Croft in Tomb Raider. Hey, speaking of
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Bobby Moynihan starring in the new Mario Brothers movie. I want to see them do that. That would be so good. The Rock's Luigi, Bobby Moynihan's Mario, and Luigi's like the starring role and the better brother throughout the whole movie. That'd be great.
Right? It should be the way it should be. The way it should be. You get, hey man, cast Batista as Bowser if you want. Just do it.
Vin Diesel. He's got real beef with The Rock, and it translates to camera well.
No, it's not Vin Diesel. Who's the one that
It was Diesel.
that quit the no, who's the one that quit the Fast and the Furious series because of Dwayne? It's not Vin Diesel. It's somebody that that I don't care for. I don't know who's in the Fast and the Furious series. Who's like been in it forever and didn't die in it fucking
Tyrese,
crash.
Ludacris, not the guy who died in the crash, Vin Diesel. It was Tyrese. Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese, that's what it is. Yeah, Tyrese is the one that has beef with The Rock, not Vin Diesel. Yeah, fucking have Tyrese be Bowser. You can do that. Fuck it. Speaking of Bowser, WWE.com released a hype video announcing Hideo Itami will be debuting on 205 Live soon.
Yeah.
You know what?
I called that
as
shit.
much as WWE fucks up everything else, I think we've all agreed that this is the place he was going to end up, and probably for better or worse, he's going to get the most use out of him here. He could do great on the main roster, but not under Vince's thumb. 205 Live, and again, I hope they are dedicated to making this a great show, and he's only going to help.
Yeah. Hopefully Enzo doesn't beat him for the championship a bunch.
I could see that.
It'll happen.
Yeah, but he's great. You know, he's not good on the mic, but that's not his fault. I mean, I couldn't go over to Japan and cut a badass promo. I just can't do it.
Right.
And I'm also not as good in the ring as him, so he's got one up on me. I do got a better beard than he does. So go to sleep, motherfucker. Hey, you got to do better than that. James Harris, also known as Kamala. Remember Kamala Paystee?
Yes, I do.
He is on life support following a surgery. Now, we are all pulling for the star-tittied, moon-belly-slapping brute. Thankfully, as of the 21st, he appears to be doing much better, though. Juanita James, his daughter, reported on Twitter, like most people do, he is off the ventilator. He's not talking, but he is alert. Now, anybody that's been following the trials and tribulations of James Harris, he's got diabetes really bad. He ended up losing a leg. He lost a foot, then he lost a leg. The bastard needed money for all of the surgeries and everything. He was out there fucking wrestling on the indies, one-legged and shit, trying to make money. They ended up having to amputate his other leg. And he's just been going downhill ever since then. Some of you might remember Kamala. He was the, as I said, the star-tittied, moon-belly-slapping Ugandan brute. He's famous for his feud with The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan. He was in both WWF and WCW, as well as being in promotions before, you know, back in the what they would call the territories back in the day. He was in Smoky Mountain. He was down in the Cornettes. I mean, he made the rounds for quite a while. Hope the best for him. Hope the best for the man. I enjoyed him as a child. I enjoyed him as an adult. I hope the best for him. And hip-hop country. Former WWE and TNA Women's Champion Mickie James just finished shooting a music video with the Yin Yang Twins for her song Left, Right, Left.
Oh, God.
I am excited to hear this. I want to hear Mickey's brand of
country music star teaming up with the most irrelevant hip-hop stars from the early 2000s.
I'm excited
she couldn't get Little John,
though.
She couldn't get Little John.
No! And she said, you know what, Little John? If I can't get you, I'm just going to get the Yin Yang Twins. And you know what he said? Okay! Oh. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into Survivor Series. Let's talk the talk, man, because you and I are gonna go back and forth a little bit. We're gonna spar. We're gonna spar a bit.
We are.
Because we don't agree on this show. We do not. I know that already. So I'll let you start out, buddy.
Went insane on this highlighting this week, my friend.
Thought I'd make it colorful. Thought make it colorful for you. And you know what? I honestly thought about highlighting everybody's name in NXT War Games in yellow, just so you knew that we're all in NXT. I honestly thought about doing it, Luke.
I got too much time on my hands.
Too much time on my hands. You ever think motherfucker Styx is fucking writing that song? If he had so much time on his hands, he could have wrote a better song.
Right. He doesn't have enough time.
Too much time on my hands. The song is over. Styx, the most overrated band in history. I'm not saying they're horrible.
That's not the way he wrote it in the first place. He had a lot of extra time, and so he sat around his apartment doing nothing but masturbating, and the original lyrics were too much slime on my hands, but the record company wouldn't release the song.
I believe it. Bring us in, buddy. You talk about the highlighting, man. Let's go. Bring it down the line. Bring it down.
So we're starting with number 1, or we start with number 11?
I say we start with the real shit, and if we have to cut shit short, we cut shit short. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes. Let's get it. It's Thanksgiving. I start with the goddamn turkey and the turkey lube, and I make my way down.
All right.
Turkey lube.
Number 1, the travesty that was the Men's Survivor Series. Traditional? I don't think so. Matchup. Raw defeated SmackDown when Braun eliminated Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode was eliminated by Braun Strowman as well. I was dumbfounded at this point. Like, really?
Thank you.
I really liked the stare down between Roode and Triple H, and I wish we would have got to see more of that.
I liked the stare down, and then it was nothing. It was all for nothing.
They're going to have a really good match one day. That's all I know. Even if it's not good, it's going to go down in history.
When my life has passed me by, lay around and wonder why Triple H and Roode didn't have a good match.
John Cena eliminated Samoa Joe. And then Kurt made Cena tap out, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. Cena did the honors, but he did the honors for an established veteran instead of like going out to the coquina clutch. Well, he couldn't for Joe because it's Raw, but going out for anything else, you know? Yeah. Keep going.
And then Randy Orton eliminated Finn Balor, thusly removing all of the smaller, newer wrestlers that WWE didn't create from the card completely.
Yeah. Completely.
Braun Strowman eliminated Randy Orton. Shane eliminated Kurt Angle, technically. This got kind of interesting, but I was super confused the whole time. This did get
interesting.
Because, like...
I was too, and I even... Go ahead.
Well, I was just, Triple H can't wait to get his hands on Shane, And it was going to be brutal. And I was so excited for that. And then Triple H hit Kurt Angle with the fucking pedigree out of nowhere. I was like... It's because they're trying to usurp him. He tagged himself in. Him and Braun got into a little heated stare down because of that. And, yeah, he pedigreed Kurt Angle, pulled Shane over Angle while staring at Braun like, this is what happens when you cross me. Helped Shane McMahon to his feet, looked at him, said, let's get this son of a bitch, and then pedigreed Shane McMahon. And I was just confused. Like, why do
So
you
I'm
need
with
that
you.
much psychology to really not change what you were going to do in the first place?
And I will say one thing, and I said it while we were watching it, before I knew what was happening. After he pedigreed Angle and had Shane cover him, and then they were standing there, I looked right at my son and I said, Phantom, I said, at very least, they got me interested in what's going on. And
Right.
they did. I give them credit for that. But it doesn't seem like the end, the path didn't make sense to the end.
Shane should not
So
have been the
if
last
Triple-
guy on his team in the first place. Like,
When he
this
had no
spot
reason
could have
to
taken
cover-
place earlier in the match.
When he had no reason to cover Angle with Shane. He could have, I mean, if he wanted to get the last elimination, he could have came in, pedigreed Angle, pulled Angle to the corner, tagged himself in, and eliminated Shane. Like, what was the point of covering Angle with Shane?
I think, like I said,
I don't see the point of
think it was to send a message to Braun. Because Braun tried to tag himself in off of Triple H, and then Triple H tagged himself back in or whatever, and then they got that stare down. And he's like, this is what happens when you cross me. And Kurt Angle and him had issue earlier in the match, too. So it made a little bit of sense. But then for him to double cross on Shane was like, okay. It was pointless.
And I'll say this. If the whole point of this Survivor Series match with 10 men involved and over a month of buildup was just to get Braun Strowman over, I would say it worked. I'd say yes. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
After the match when Braun had Triple H in the corner shaking like a little baby, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So I give them that. How many of their talents did they fucking bury to do this? And they could have done the same thing with having the young guys take out the older guys, except for Triple H, Shane, and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
You know? So to me, what he should have done was had like a Shinsuke Nakamura, even instead of Shane. I mean, Shane should have been the first one out.
Not
Shane
one
or Triple
indie
H,
guy
that
got
would've
a
sold
fall
something.
in this match. The only people who got the falls were the veterans and Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman had 3 eliminations. Cena had 1, Angle had 1, Orton had 1, Shane McMahon had 1, and Triple H had 1. What you could have done is Shane could have been out early. You could have had Shinsuke Nakamura at the end. You could have had Triple H come in and pedigree Angle before he could take out Shinsuke Nakamura. Then you could have him and Shinsuke standing there. If I'm the announcers, I say, well, you know, Triple H was a pivotal part in Shinsuke's career in WWE. Down in NXT, he was like a mentor to Shinsuke, and he sure helped build him up to this place. So maybe he's thinking he's trying to protect him. And then have him turn on Shinsuke, and you could still do the exact same angle.
Yeah.
But Shinsuke could have had more eliminations.
With the way this match went down, they should have never booked any of the indie guys. They should have called back some more people, stacked it with a bunch of vintage dudes, like shit you want to see, and let it play out like that. But...
And I don't need to see Shane McMahon, John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H in a ring together.
It was kind of overkill.
I don't need that, personally.
You could have went without
Angle,
John Cena and Randy Orton altogether.
Easily. Well, and Triple H had no reason being there. Obviously, they're trying to build to a Triple H Braun feud, which I don't know where that's going to go because... I mean, what are you going to do with the Triple H Braun feud? When you're going to have probably Triple H Angle at WrestleMania. So do you make Triple H look weak to Braun?
You almost have
face
to.
Angle at
With
WrestleMania, or do you have Braun look weak to Triple H?
You almost have to let Triple H lose that one.
I would say so, but is he going to? I mean, look at this match.
Right.
I don't know. As far as the Braun Strowman push, this did wonders for Braun Strowman. I'm okay with that. I love that they're building Braun Strowman. Everything else I was not okay with this match. I would give this match, out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 2. I'd give it a 2.
I didn't hate it. I'll give it a 3.3.
And I'm going down our predictions. You won this prediction. You called Raw. I called SmackDown. So you got this one, Paystee.
Yeah.
You taught me a lesson. Never bet against Triple H's ego.
I shouldn't have had to teach you that lesson. You should have already known.
Every now and then you think Triple H has learned, but no, it should be I who have learned.
But yeah, also, I got to give a little bit of a complaint because this was not a traditional men's Survivor Series. There was tables involved. There was interference. There was wrestlers who came back after being eliminated. It was very
and they
bizarre.
decided
and
when,
even the announcers, like we had predicted, had no idea like that was the stipulations and rules.
Right. And yeah, and sometimes they enforced the rules and sometimes they didn't.
I did.
You
call
can
it
use
as
weapons
soon as they were
now,
outside of the ring and
but
the
now
ref
you
didn't
can't.
count. As soon as the ref wasn't counting, I'm like, okay, it's non-traditional.
Right. But then when they go to use a chair, it's like, no.
Right.
What?
And he already used the chair outside the ring. He used
you
it.
can use the chair here, but not here. It was weird. And since you brought it up, one of my biggest complaints that fucked this whole pay-per-view up was a 5-man announce booth.
Yeah.
Oh shit, was that annoying. It just needed to be on fucking mute. It was just a headache. It was a headache, and they were all horrible. Yeah. I didn't even like Corey Graves in it because it just, with everybody, it just sucked. It was bad. It was just bad. And at one point,
I went through most of the show without even realizing it was a 5-man announce team. I'm just going to point that out.
At one point, Byron called out Booker T. Booker T said something that made no fucking sense.
As usual.
And it was really quiet for a while. And I was saying to my son, I was like, what the fuck did he just say? And all of a sudden, I think it was Byron was like, Booker, do you have any idea what you said? And Booker just laughs and he's like, I made it sound good, didn't I, brother? Like, they call him out. He's like, Booker, what the fuck, man? You have no idea what you're saying, you fucker.
He's just as bad as Jerry Lawler. I swear to God.
It's 5 men. A 3-man announce team gets to be bad at times.
I want to see Jerry
too much for me.
And Booker T be the only 2 announcers. I want to see one show like that.
Right?
Just
be entertaining.
Just once.
Well, yeah. You don't need more than that. Once is enough, my friend. Once is enough.
All right, let's keep on trucking.
What's our next?
Our next match was the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, who defeated WWE Champion AJ Styles.
I say match of the night. I loved this match.
It was good. It was
no matter
good.
what negativity I said earlier, I loved this match.
AJ, took a fair beating in the beginning, and then he came back strong. He didn't do the Styles Clash.
It would have been interesting to see him try it.
I really wanted to see it. I was really hoping for it. But it was a good match. And I look forward to seeing him clash again.
This was probably, in my opinion, Brock Lesnar's best match since winning the title. And I think it might be his longest. I think they almost went... I think they went more than 15 minutes.
Well, my prediction may have been wrong, but I did get my hope there. It was a longer match. It was satisfying.
It was. And you know what? The first match was kind of like a fight, or the first half was like a fight. And Braun Strowman was just demolishing
Braun Strowman was demolishing Triple H? What match is this?
I don't fucking know. Brock Lesnar was demolishing AJ Styles. It's been one match and they've already got me fucking so discombobulated. Between the 10 men and the 5 announcers, I'm fucked in the head. The first half of the match, Brock Lesnar was just beating the shit out of AJ Styles. But then, towards the end of the match, AJ got a lot of offense in, and Brock was selling that. AJ put him in a calf crusher, and Brock was selling that calf crusher the rest of the match, including when he walked out the winner. He was still hobbling on that leg. That is cool. That's good to see Brock sell for AJ.
I tell
That's
you, he's
awesome.
been giving more to the company lately. And like I said, I think it has to do something with realizing his mortality and how much longer could his career possibly be. He wants to make it as legendary as possible. And you got to give.
And I think, oh yeah, you do. And I think these two did a great job. I have no qualms. I mean, out of 5, I would give this for a Brock Lesnar match, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I'd normally give it a 3 out of 5, but we know Brock Lesnar matches are going to be different. I enjoyed it. For the results, I did pick Brock, you did pick AJ, so I did win this one. So right now we're 1-1. Tied up.
Tied up. That's how I like to be.
Let's move on.
The next match was the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, and she defeated Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. And yet another upset. You got one over on me here. You predicted Flair would win it. I said she couldn't do it. But we all got to see Alexa Bliss twerking. So everybody wins.
And if you all haven't seen a good twerking video of Alexa Bliss, go to the Facebook page of Beef Sticks Podcast, and there's a nice little video there of her just twerking her fucking ass off. Just twerking her ass off. It's funny because the first time I seen it, it has music to it. First time I seen it, my son's like, "What is that, Dad?" Because he heard some music. And so I showed him, and he's like, "Dad." I was like, "Hey, somebody just posted it, and I seen it, okay?" And I was like, "I gotta share this with the Beef Sticks family." So I put it up on our Facebook page. Then randomly throughout the day, if I'm on Facebook, I'm like, I'm gonna look at that again. And as soon as my son would hear that music, he'd just shoot me a look like, "Dad." It's like, come on, man, I'm on Facebook. I'm bored. I want to see it too. Work. I think 5 times today my son just shot me a look because he heard that music play.
They need to make one of the dashboard hula girl dolls of that.
Right. I agree completely. This match, I did expect Charlotte to win because she has the story right now. She just came back. Her dad almost died. She just won the title. She has the book coming out. She's the babyface. So I seen her winning. I thought this could possibly be the sleeper match of the night, and they could end up having the best match of the night. Both of these two did not have nowhere near the best matches that they've had in their careers. I was very disappointed with this match, honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I thought it could have been way better. It was good,
but it wasn't great.
It was good. Yeah, for literally probably the top woman on SmackDown and the top woman on Raw. Like, if you ask me right now, who is... I mean, maybe Sasha I like better, but she's on Raw. So, I mean, the top woman on SmackDown, I would say, is probably Charlotte.
Yeah.
Maybe Natalya, but let's say Charlotte.
Natalya
and
can't
Alexa
be
Bliss.
the top woman, even with the title. It's Natalya.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're
her
asking
gimmick
me
was she farted. You don't get over that.
I'm just saying, if you ask me who's gonna put on the best match, I'd probably say Natalya first, but then I'll go with Charlotte for the SmackDown women. So between Charlotte and Alexa, they should have put on a killer match, and I think they didn't.
Becky Lynch can do good as long as there's not tables involved.
Yes, that's true. So I really don't have much to say about this match. It was good, but it should have been a lot better than it was. I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5 personally.
Yeah, I don't really have a number value for this one. I wasn't very impressed, but I watched it.
So I predicted Charlotte, so right now I'm up 2-1 with you. Moving on.
The SmackDown Live Tag Team Champs, the Usos, defeated the Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar.
The Bar.
This was a good match.
Good, yeah.
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 Could have been better.
I guess the way I feel about this match. Oh, I'm not. That's why. The way I feel about this match personally is almost the same of the last match. It was a good match, but I thought between two extremely talented tag teams like these two, that again, they should have had like a show steal. They should have had a match where afterwards you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I loved it. I didn't have that feeling at all. It was good. It entertained me. But if you told me the Usos in the bar, tag team champs facing each other, champion versus champion, I would expect a much more intense match than this.
Yeah. I don't got a whole lot to say about it.
I don't either. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. I think a little better than the women's match, but maybe that's because there was more people to work off of. They're both extremely talented. I got nothing negative to say about either one at this point in their career.
I'd like to give it a 3 out of 5. But because I was expecting so much more, I think I gotta go with a 2.8.
I can dig that. So, I picked Usos, you picked the bar.
And this is where it all starts going down.
Now I'm 3-1 on you. 3-1 on you, Loke. What do we got next?
The United States champion, Baron Corbin, defeated the Intercontinental champion, The Miz. It's not what that says there.
It does not. I was trying to figure out if you fucked with me or if I did this wrong.
If I fucked with you, it would be the penis champion.
Okay. Well, because it was blue also, as if it were SmackDown, but it's Raw.
You must have been tired at that
I don't
point.
have... That could have been. I really don't have anything to say about this. It was...
Baron Corbin won,
okay,
which is cool.
I will say, I liked the ending. I thought the ending was pretty decent. I liked his promo afterwards. That was probably the thing I liked the best.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shocking because he's disappointed us in the promo department before. I really enjoyed the promo afterwards. Baron Corbin's.
Yeah, there's definitely more hope for him than Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no shit. The only problem is he's got a receding hairline and Roman doesn't, so Vince will still push Roman instead. Yeah, I don't have a lot of great stuff to say about this. I'd say a 2 out of 5 match. Again, disappointed. This is the one I was expecting the least out of, so this is about what I expected, I guess.
I guess with the Miz going off to do the Marine 6, he didn't want to potentially risk injury in his match before departing. So,
and it's cool to see him do the honors on the way out and let somebody win. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Up next, the Women's Survivor Series. Raw defeated SmackDown. And I'm going to let you run the breakdown on this one.
All right, so Raw, the women's and the men, Raw beat SmackDown in their Survivor Series match. It's kind of impressive. For the women's Survivor Series, the men's Survivor Series, and their world titles, if you will. So I'd say the 3 biggest ones, Raw all won. Did not expect that. I did not see that coming. So as far as eliminations went, Bayley eliminated Becky Lynch in about, I'd say maybe 2 minutes, 1:45.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
I'd be surprised if it was over 2 minutes. It was amazing how quick Becky Lynch went out. Sad. Then Tamina eliminated Bayley very shortly after that. So within 5 minutes, you got both Becky Lynch and Bayley eliminated. Wow, have they fallen from when they first came in as the 4 horsewomen.
Right.
Fucking sad. After that, Nia Jax was eliminated via countout when Tamina rolled in the ring just a schmear. Just rolled in the ring just a cunt hair quicker than her. Naomi then eliminated Alicia Fox, who was the team captain. Becky Lynch was the team captain for SmackDown, first eliminated. Alicia Fox, team captain for Raw. She was the second eliminated. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks eliminated Naomi. Asuka then eliminated Carmella. Natalya eliminated Sasha. Then Asuka went on to eliminate both Tamina and then Natalya. This match, again, almost a carbon copy of the men's match. Not so much the ending, but the fact that it was really here just to put over Asuka.
Yeah, as soon as Asuka was the only one on her team left, I'm like, oh, Ra's got this for sure.
Yeah, and they sacrificed like Becky Lynch and Bayley to put over Asuka, which I don't know that that's okay, I guess. But I did like how this played out for Asuka. They made Asuka look strong. I was so worried. My biggest fear was they were going to have her lose via countout the same way Nia Jax did. And that way they could say she's undefeated or they could say she's never been pinned or submitted. She's not undefeated, but she's never been pinned or submitted, and I hate that.
Even if she would have been pinned or submitted in this match, it wouldn't have counted because it wasn't a singles match. You know what I mean? They have infinite outs, but they have outs.
Yeah, they do. To me, it's not. Not to me. Like me personally, it's not. But yes, you're right. In their minds, they do. So again, this one I don't think was as good as it could have been, but I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 because I was really interested in the Asuka stuff. That might be about it. Tamina and Nia Jax, they built up to be a big deal. I don't think it really was, but they did build it up to be a big deal. I give them credit for that.
Tamina's never been a big deal in the first place, so for them to have that stare down, it didn't mean anything to me.
And she's not going to.
It should have.
So I should say with the last match that we didn't give a shit about, you and I both picked The Miz, so neither one of us got a point there. With this match, you and I both picked the Raw women. So now it is 4-2, Paystee Whyt or Mack and Paystee Whyt. I got 4, you have 2. 3-on-3 is next.
Yeah, the Shield versus the New Day. We both picked the Shield coming over the top, and I think the whole world would be amiss to say we picked wrong. Because obviously the Shield was going to return dominant. It was a good match. I was surprised to see it kick off the show, but it made sense. New Day's always good for that. And it doesn't feel like it brings them down any.
I don't think so, and I enjoyed it. I mean, you got to think about it. The New Day is definitely one of the top teams, if not the top team total. But the Shield, as of now, is not a team anymore. It is 3 of your top solo guys working together. So you can imagine 3 top solo guys beating your top team. I mean, to me, that's not a stretch of the imagination.
Right.
This match, to me, was probably what I expected it to be. I enjoyed this. This was one of the better of the matches. Brock, AJ, in this match were the saving graces of this pay-per-view to me personally. Wouldn't have called this great, but I got what I expected out of it. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I thought I got what I expected out of it.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you.
I was surprised immediately when Roman Reigns stepped in the ring, just a chorus of boos followed by a "you still suck" chant. I mean, this putting Reigns with the Shield to get him over is backfiring. It is not working. They cheer the Shield as a whole, but when it's Roman alone, they still just boo the fucker.
It's just because it's fun. At this point, it's the John Cena effect. People like and appreciate him. And pretty much everywhere I look on the internet, most people don't shit on him. And when they do, there's a bunch of people that come back and attack them for being stupid. Because Roman is showing trolls? He deserves a place at the top.
He deserves where he's at now. The IC title. He doesn't deserve a place at the top. Not considering who's in WWE now. I give Roman his credit, but I only give him his credit. He deserves a mid-card run for the next 3 years. And then maybe moving up to the World Championship. But with all the talent that's in there right now, No, he doesn't hold a candle to Kevin Owens, to Finn Balor, to AJ Styles, to your Hideo Itamis, to a Brock Lesnar. He doesn't hold a candle to any of them people. To a Seth Rollins, the list goes on and on of who he doesn't hold a candle to.
Yeah, but they're not company-made guys.
That's true, but that's why I think the fans still boo him.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I got a positive about this. Then we went into the pre-show. There were 3 matches on the pre-show. And
I did have to stop for a moment, and I had to explain to my roommates. Maybe it wasn't at this pay-per-view, but it was one of the other events or episodes that we had watched. But they'll scream, "You suck" at Roman Reigns, and then Kurt Angle comes out, and they say, "You suck," and it means a completely different thing. I've never really had to explain that to somebody before, but it means they love him. And I think it's kind of the same way with Cena. At this point, it's pretty much the same way with Cena, and one day it will be the same way with Roman Reigns.
What have you noticed? Cena gets more cheers nowadays than he does boos, I feel.
Well, it's because he decided to do the right thing and put over people, because he knows as well he's not going to be around forever.
It goes a long way.
The best way to make your career legendary is to build up the next generation before you go. That's the true sign of a legend, I think.
Yeah, it honestly is. I mean, and that's kind of an unwritten law in pro wrestling, is you do the honors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how the mighty have fallen. We got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on a pre-show facing Breezango.
Yeah.
These guys are soon to be
at least they were kind of on the pay-per-view.
These guys are not really something's happening with these guys, and
I like how you colored Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn red. They're SmackDown guys.
Not good. They are. I was tired. Like you said, I was fucking tired.
This was the point where I tuned in, was the very end of this match. And so I didn't see any of the rest of the pre-show. None of it really means a lot to me. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to beat Breezango.
Yep. And then they had the Cruiserweight title. Enzo defeated Kalisto. You and I both called that. And they had Elias Sampson and Matt Hardy. Again, Matt Hardy, who a year ago was the talk of the wrestling community. Everybody was talking about Matt Hardy. Biggest free agent in wrestling. And they have him fucking jobbing to Elias Sampson on a pre-show now.
It's pretty terrible.
Poor Matt Hardy. If I was WWE, I would have brought Matt Hardy in. Okay, you don't have the rights to the broken Hardy gimmick. Okay, here's what you're going to do. I have a laptop or I have a notebook. You write up whatever character you want, whoever you want,
especially after Jeff
whatever
left
props
with injury.
you want. Yeah, what you write, whatever you want to do, you give it to our head writers. They will have to do it. You have a golden ticket. You're Charlie in the fucking chocolate factory. You give it to them. You tell them what you want to do, and you do it. Because I can guarantee you, it doesn't have to be Broken Hardy. Matt Hardy has been super creative his whole life. He could be doing something amazing right now. But because they wanted to keep him a fucking Hardy boy, this is what happens. It's a waste of talent.
You could have at least called them the Hardy Men now. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Hardy Men. That's
and they could come up.
Hardy Men.
He's a man.
What's your name?
A man's
a Hardy
man. They could have just recycled that song for them, even.
So as far as our predictions went, you ended up getting 4. I ended up getting 6. It was close. It was close, actually, because we did backwards order when we talked about it. But if you did forwards order, we were going back and forth there for a while.
Oh yeah.
It could have went any way. So
no,
I guess I've heard people say it's a good pay-per-view. I'm going to go out on record and say at the end of it, I was super disappointed, and I felt deflated. I felt like somebody poked my balloon with a goddamn safety pin. I felt deflated. And after going back and reflecting on it and rewatching a couple matches, I feel the same way. I do not like this pay-per-view at all. And I was super stoked for it. Paystee, did I or did I not fucking text you and say, hey, this could be the fucking time that the pay-per-view for the main roster is better than TakeOver?
Yeah,
I was stoked.
You did.
I was stoked. I wanted it to be great. I wanted it. I don't think I got it.
It wasn't horrible. I liked it, and there's some matches I would like to rewatch again. But it wasn't what it should have been.
Not considering the talent you had. But you know what I honestly think? I thought about this afterwards too, and I had talked about this before the pay-per-view. But I honestly think a big part of what hurt it is that there was nothing at stake. It honestly didn't matter who won or lost.
And I have to point out here too that we the time the main event started, we should have had an hour-long Survivor Series men's match, and we only got 41 minutes.
Yeah, they cut it off a good 20 minutes short. 20 minutes short.
And I mean, they can do that. It's your company. You do what the fuck you want to. But that was bizarre to me. When I looked at the clock and it was 9:40 and the pay-per-view was over, I couldn't believe it.
And like you said, you had pointed this out while the pay-per-view was going on. The fact that the announcers kept telling you what the score was, after Raw is up X amount, you knew what the next couple matches were going to be. Because you knew going into the final one, it was going to be even.
Yeah.
So you already knew who was going to win. So yeah, that screwed it up too. But I think for you to have a great pay-per-view, you need to have some stuff at stake. Not every match, but this, if you don't count the pre-show, there was literally nothing at stake this entire pay-per-view. Pointless.
It was. I mean, it was fantasy warfare, and that's always fun. But yeah, it was pretty pointless.
So let's move on to something that wasn't pointless.
We gotta be quick through this. I almost want to hold off and just talk about this next week, or do a hour special sometime throughout this week, because I think they deserve a lot more time on this show than we can give them at this moment.
We could do that. We could pop something up later or something. I do want to get to it though, because there was. I got positive and negative to say about this.
I want to really spotlight this War Games match itself, because for all the fears and like this could be a really not good match if they don't do it right, but it could be a great match if they did it right. It went over my expectations, and the fucking Sanity was great. All of them. And I've never liked anybody but Eric Young.
Sanity, fucking Killian Deathchild murder. Holy shit, man. Talk about impressing me. Yeah, I agree with you.
And I will say though, they deserve more time than I'm willing to give them.
In my opinion, this is no more a War Games than that triple cage was that WCW tried to do in 2000. So I don't consider it your traditional. Doesn't take away from the match itself.
Yeah. What they did worked,
so yeah, let's do that. Let's try to do like a. Let's try to do an hour and put it up later on NXT War Games. Or we don't have any pay-per-views coming up. Maybe we can do it next week. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're pretty fluid. We're fluid like a liquid.
I would definitely like to get a second chance to go back and watch Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. And...
God. Oh my gosh. And Cien versus McIntyre.
That was good. Cien was good. And when his woman came in and did that Rana, that was fun.
Yeah, that short Rana that on his knees,
Rana?
fucking DDT spiking. They might have. That's what I would call it. Yeah, spiked grana. Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah. So there you go. That's our Survivor Series. Beefsgiving. Fucking listen to what we say and we told it to you fucking show.
There you go. We gave you something to be thankful for and something to look forward to.
We apologize that it was a little late, but you know, hey, technical difficulties, you gotta love them.
Right? When the world is overrun by machines, you kind of gotta work on their schedule.
It's horrible, but true. But true. All right, folks. I am Fat Mac, and I love you like a lovesick puppy.
I'm Paystee Whyt, and we will see you next week or sooner.
Da-da-da.